when we were, I have to tell a story in order to explain it. We ended up becoming godparents of a little boy in Stafford when we were there at the end of our time there. We couldn't say no because nobody knew we were leaving. But so we said yes to being godparents to this child. And we'd sort of fallen.
Stafford is?
Stafford, Connecticut,
Okay,
where we were.
all right.
And he came and found us in Colorado because his name is Kenneth Whitney Zlotnick, bless his heart. Mm-hmm. And he wanted to know why he was named for this person and who we were. And it ended up that we went back to Connecticut in 2000 to help perform his marriage. And because, for various reasons, we called the Methodist Church in Stafford Springs, which was very close to where he was being married, because Ken needed an official Connecticut resident clergy person to sign the papers. And he introduced himself by saying, "My name is Ken Whitney, and the woman who's the pastor there interrupted, and she said, "I know who you are." And this is 30 years after we had left. The congregation was still talking about us. And her story was that people in the church still think you were the most wonderful thing that ever happened to us, but the town still hates you. And one of the things, most of the people that we knew were gone when we went to church there, was all of the kids of the people that we had known. And that was such fun to meet some of these young people. And I kept saying, "That's this woman." Well, it wasn't this woman, it was her daughter. She looked just like her. And she'd been gone for 20 years. But we had established a women's reading Bible study group when we were in Stafford between 1965 and 1970. And it went on until the last one died, which was maybe 25, 30 years later. And my concern was, and still and always has been, and this is the answer to your question, what do you do inside of a church that helps it renew? How do you do that? And for me, that's the question that I've been searching the answer for all of these years. What do you do? And, that's why I work with UMW. That's why I work with the retreat ministry at Trinity.
And I think that's why we went into the order.
Well, but that's what's driven me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know whether that's, and of course the promise of the local church experiment and, let's see if we can understand some of this. Had a lot to do with why we went when we went. But for me, it's always been, there's got to be, this organization's been here a hell of a long time. There's got to be a reason.